Greetings, fellow pilgrims. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Pilgrim Ship. Episode 57. Hoarding Gold for the Throne. Ares platform. It's another loot platform, kind of like this one. Okay. Oh, right! One of the benefits of having Turtle join us is he's a meleeer that also can hack. I remember stating that it's really convenient because generally your brawler is the one that breaches hacked doors, so having them, you know, be the same person helps considerably. Unlike previous ancient soldiers, I might just revel in the mayhem. So I'll do something like this. Where they're just gonna get kind of low-key executed. Because they always pop out in the interaction spot. So if you're standing there, you just immediately engage them in melee, and then they're dead. Wow. Yeah. Off with your head. Destroyed. Well, you're not coming back from that. And this is just easier. There's less setup. In fact, I didn't really need to vacuum out the facility. There's not much point. This time there's 4 and only 3 of us, so who's a shooter that can also brawl? Air Dog, you'll do it? Summary executions? And some more gold. I know that there's an argument of, like, strip up the sterile floor to get more gold. But I'd rather just save myself the manual labor and go to somewhere new. If we really want gold, it would make sense for me to turn off my research bench so that we spend more time on the long-range mineral scanner so that we can actually find a gold node. There was a peace talks. That's cute. For what faction? Oh, the Exo Network? After I wipe out their base, they're like, can we make peace? You know what? Now that I know the value of one of these, sure. Like, let's go to the peace talks. That sounds interesting. I don't think we can land directly on it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But we can land adjacent and then visit it via the shuttle pad. So we'll just land anywhere that there's like a forest. So I can get more chem fuel. So the current priority is refuel and do the peace talks. I don't usually do peace talks because, you know, why would Liara want peace? But she can toy with them. She can, this is like carrot and the stick. So she just used a lot of stick. Now she's going to use a carrot, and she'll probably go back to the stick at some point. One of the other things we could do, and I'm not going to hold my breath because I got really lucky in the Grav Runners. And I don't suspect I'm going to get that kind of lucky here, is we do have 3 dead colonists that are entombed. And it wouldn't be a terrible idea to, like, low-key look for red serum. So hopping around in a ship... Oh, we're going to be here a while. Was it 3 days? Hopping around in a ship trying to get, you know, ancient dangers is, like, not a terrible idea. Alright, Liara... I'm going to have you take Turtle, even though I know it doesn't count. Launch. Peace talks, success. So I gained 6,000 social experience, which honestly is probably not that much in the scheme of things. And we are now less hostile. 71 is kind of a lot of, because one of the issues with the Exo Network, unlike the other colonies, is I don't believe you can actually gift things to the Exo Network. I could be wrong about that, but what we can do is we can work our way east to see if that holds true. Because all the other factions actually have land bases that you can, like, just send shuttle pods. But because the Exo Network requires, you know, hackers, I don't think you can actually shuttle things to them. It just doesn't work. Which means that they're the hardest faction to fix a relationship with once it's soured. Because there's no way to, like, trade gifts to them. Because they don't have a land presence. So they'll never caravan, you can't, like, release their people. Actually, that's not true. I could go to one of their bases. That'd be devious. Go to one of their bases, capture as many people as we can. With, like, tox weapons or something. Knock them all unconscious, fire, I don't know. And then release them on land for a rep. I guess that would be overly complex, way more effort than it's worth, but technically that would work. Before I leave this map tile, just looking to see if there's plasteel. Nope, no plasteel, no gold. Lame. We're just grabbing as much chem fuel as we can, and then we'll be on our merry way. The question I have for you guys, where should we go next? So looking at some of the options, I don't feel like I need another grav core. It's not like there's a lot that we could benefit from that. We're already at max size ship. I could expand the ship, but like the ship does what it needs to do. It doesn't need to be more grand than this as far as I'm concerned. And it doesn't really need more power because we're already sitting at... How much power do I generate? Let's see. Zoom out. I've got 7 grav core cells at 1,200 apiece plus a vanometric of 1,000. So, yeah, I mean, we're generating the equivalent of, like, more than 2 steam geysers worth. So, power is not much of a concern. We are in power excess, like, all the time, even with everything plugged in. So, power isn't really necessary, and then expansions aren't really necessary, meaning grav cores are kind of like a luxury item that we don't have high need for. I think trying to get additional psychas or plasteel for bionics and weapons, honestly just our relics if we get offered relic offerings. So to that end, we could work our way eastward just because we're sort of at the edge of the continent, just for more opportunities to be physically around us. I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. I wouldn't mind doing some shuttle trade for plasteel. So before I leave this spot, maybe I'll go to the encampment at the stream. But we'll start loading up the shuttle pod for that. Pack meals, pemmican. And all this stupid leather. I wish there was a way to actively hunt Thrumbo. Much the way that, like, your ground pen scanners, like, I wish there was like an animal scanner. That'd be pretty neat. That'd be weird. I don't know. I mean, I kind of take it back. That'd be weird, but it still sounds cool. Dweeb's bow. The names of some of these, just so silly. So this is just a trade caravan down to our ally to the south, looking to buy whatever we can buy, plasteel, etc. Yeah, it'd be cool if there was you know how the terrains have modifiers now? It'd be cool if one of the terrain modifiers were like increased, like a thrombo habitat or something like that. Because, you know, you have lots of habitats, but I've never seen thrombo. I don't think that's like a choice, as far as I know, because they're special. The same way you don't have like, you know, Spellipede or Mega Spider habitats or anything like that. But it would be pretty cool if it was offered. I'd go there. Who picked up this machine pistol? I doubt we even have it anymore. Oh, no. It's forbidden. How do we include a forbidden pistol in the load anyway? That doesn't even make sense. Alright. Actually, Skyra, you have a trade inspiration. We might as well use that up. Spellipede Sanctuary, what a concept. Yeah, pretty wild concept. Increased bug presence. They have Thrombo Fur. I actually might end up buying that because they don't seem to have... Oh, they have gold. Perfect. What? This is wild. Oh, right. I've been here. They have my old jade billiards tables that are dyed purple. I was like, what coincidence? But then I realized, oh no, those are mine. I built those. That makes sense. Oh, they can afford just about everything we have to sell. Perfect. Timberwolf hunting breakfall. Oh boy, is that ever a bad idea. Who wants to bet this Timberwolf won't even survive one burst? Nope, not one burst. Almost did, but not quite. We destroyed its brain. Get brained! What was this region called? Round Monkey Forest? I wonder if they're related to Fat Shark. Maybe Round Monkey and Fat Shark could collab. New lovers, Airdog and Skyra. I mean, at least it's not a slave relationship. Could be worse. Who's building the, I don't need to do that like that anymore. Who's building the bed? Aram? Yeah, alright, that'll work. Skyra and Airdog. It's funny, like, forcing them out of bed seems like such a hostile thing to do. It's like, get up, you're sleeping together. It's like, but we just started. No, don't care. It's happening. The thing is, this is a real benefit because Airdog is the only other person with like a title and he's constantly pissy because of the supreme expectations. So like being in a relationship might actually fix some things because he's been a real pain in the butt. So be happy or die is kind of what I'm saying. Alright, come morning, I think what I want my hunters to do that have like massive burst fire weapons, Breakfire, Tornal, and Julian, is to go hunt some Mega Sloths and see if the Mega Sloths can absorb a burst from each as like just a hilarious boredom action. So come hither and we'll see about that. Oh, one burst survived! Burst number 2, and you're dead. Alright, what about you? Are there any others? Nope, this is the last one. Then there's that bear, I guess. Burst 1 survived. Burst 2 fatal. Do you guys want me to go to the Atlas platform? My only hesitations with the orbital platforms is they kind of take a while to like clear out because everything is like destroyed into separate and annoying to path to, and they typically don't have a lot of like loot. I won't formally poll chat. If you just want to like write down your thoughts, I'm happy to receive them. And so that we don't have to keep stopping in forest to refuel, so I can just land wherever I want to land, I'm just amassing chem fuel and, oh, there we go! Gold scan! Alright, how about this? We're going to land at the gold, because it's just more convenient. So, I'm going to tell everyone to haul the wood into the ship, and then we'll go to the gold. This hunting strategy sounds like dynamite fishing? Yes. 100% yes. Massively overkill and totally unnecessary, and that is the name of the game. Poor bear. You're tamed. You're dead. Shouldn't have trusted me. Alright. So we have 2,200 gold. I need about 3,100 to make a golden throne. And we did just scan gold. We can't take off just yet because the engines are on cooldown. But as soon as we can, we'll go. I've also just been filling out the research tree with junk. I should probably research multi-barrel weapons. It'd be funny to just have everyone have, like, miniguns. I feel like if everyone had miniguns, my entire entry would break, though. We would just destroy the walls, have nothing left. Which I suppose could be amusing in its own way. So we've got 2k chem, 2k wood. I'll just keep making chem. I know I'm not going to want the wood. We want a little bit of wood for the braziers, but like no more than that. Hey, breachers! There is people to murder. If they're breachers, we are. What privs do you have? You've got mech privs. All right, we'll start off with mech privs. Dropping some mechis. There's even aerodrone salvo that I could call on them, because that's like also fun to do. At this point, raids are just like fun. They're not even a threat. Something dastardly is to keep the, oh god, they're just gonna flee. No, they're fighting. Cool. Alright, gunners. Come on out. We got some idiots that think they can poke a hole in our ship. Oh, that's another inspired trade. I am surprised they haven't fled. Honestly, quite surprised. Oh, Skyra caught a friendly bullet. Actually, how did you catch fire? I don't even see a bullet wound. You just, like, were on fire. I think your armor absorbed the bullet, but then, like, set you on fire anyway. How many boomalopes do you need to become self-sufficient? That's, 0? I mean, that's impossible to answer because, like, self-sufficiency, as long as we're not making grav jumps, we don't use chem fuel. But if we make a lot of grav jumps, we need a lot of chem fuel, so it's incalculable. Where are you going? I mean, I know that they're, like, shooting at me. Okay, yeah, that's all over. Where are you at? Yeah, you're at 5-5. Alright, cool. Max Mood, thank you, guys. Super appreciate it, dog. Thanks for hooking me up. Wait, you're tribal? The toque and the duster really hides the sort of modern beard really hides the fact that you're tribal. Poor raccoon. I mean, you know, it didn't suffer. Died pretty quick. Alright, we can take off in 3 hours. And we're headed to the gold. One Psycast that I would like to pick up, which we are going to need to visit the Royal Empire cities, is Inspiration. Because it would be great if Liara could inspire a constructor to make a better throne. That's something I would like to obtain. Mostly because she has royal, where is this gold? Oh, there it is. She has, royal meditation type, and the quality of the throne ultimately is more important than the material that the throne's made out of. So, like, a wooden throne that is legendary will meditate you faster than a golden throne that is awful by a long shot, because it's just completely quality-based. So it'd be really nice to have that, like, forced inspiration. I could also try to give inspiring speeches and other ways to get inspiration, but we know how Liara's speeches go. They don't go nicely, so I do hesitate relying on speeches for throne quality. Oh, I'm squishing a bunch of alpaca. Oh well. Yeah. So I'll be shuttling into royal cities as much as I can to try to get that Psycast, because I don't have it yet. And for reference, if we do want the Golden Throne, it is 3075. We're at 2243, so we're not that far off. We're not going to get, like, a lot of gold out of this node, but it's certainly going to get closer to the goal than where we were. Also might be not a bad idea for us to strip mine the uranium and components out of this tile. Possibly for trade, possibly for use. Yeah, everything of value I've already spotted. Perfect. So the next hop will be maybe here, so that I'm roughly equidistant between all 4 of these Imperial cities. Oh, here we go. Space drone hack. So when Lara wakes up in the morning... Oh, and a... structure heist. Wait, how'd you find... Oh, you read a thing. Okay. I don't really care about ancient complexes. So there's another piece of the information about Liara's long reach, the last relic that I want. And in the morning, I'm going to have her pursue it. Hey, Air Dog, I allowed you to be in a relationship so that you could not be fussy. It'd be great if, you know, you actually lived up to that. Oh, their moods are real bad. What is... There's not even a lot of, like, negatives here. It's like, you ate without a table. Oh, you have a torso scar. Well, I'm definitely not using heal serum on that. I could put you through a cycler. But if I put you through a cycler, you're out of commission for a while. You got charge lanced. I mean, that's fair. At least I know it wasn't me. I don't use charge lances. He's not the only one with a permanent injury. Air Dog has a stab scar. Joker has a torso scar. Pornal. Oh no, Air Dog's not the one in pain. Wait, why were you in minor... I was looking at the wrong person. I was looking at Joker, who had the minor pain. Okay, I see. In that case, yeah, let's put Joker through a cycle. Might as well. We're gonna pleasure cycle you and then regen cycle you. Because it's faster. Pretty counterintuitive, but it is faster. So we're up to 25-27 gold. We're only about 500 away. 550. It's a lot, but it's possible to obtain. And we'll be able to relaunch here in like 2 hours. And possibly going to all of these imperial cities, I'll try to buy gold while I'm there. I don't have a lot of spending power. Most of my silver has been used up. The other thing I could do is... Okay, rhinos. The other thing I could do is I could have Skyra, who's mostly idle, try to crank out nicer clothing. That's a possibility as well. You know what I could do? Let's search for gold. So one of my hop locations within range is gold ore rich. And then there's another gold ore rich here. So let's try that. Try to get our gold here in this ancient quarry. I like it. And then at the quarry, we'll do the aerodrone hack, because I didn't want to stick around for the rhinos, because I would have had to kill them all if I wanted to get that. Oh, wow, I went... it doesn't really matter as long as I'm near imperial cities, but I thought I was going south. I'm not, which is probably good, because it's later in the season. Soon it's going to be autumn, and it would be good for me to get away from that. Ooh, there's a lot of gold here. Oh boy. Yeah, this is no joke gold rich. Awesome. It is a jungle, so it's going to make us hella sick if we stick around for too long, but it's pretty nice. One of the nice things about the ancient quarries is the ancient quarries have a lot of tunnels, and the tunnel networks reveal gold that would have otherwise been probably obscured. So I do find it a little bit easier to find gold in these zones. Alright, let's try to fix the mood here. Skyra, hit a soother. And then Liara, you're gonna do another throne speech. I don't think it's on cooldown, surprisingly. I feel like I've used it pretty recently, but apparently not recent enough. And maybe we get an inspiration out of this. That'd be nice. Encouraging? And Air Dog and Scarabrook. Frickin' idiots. You know, I'm actually curious. What was your relationship number? Skyra and Air Dog. Compatibility of neutral. I mean, negative 0.21, but that's basically neutral. Now that I'm staring at it, who does Liara statistically like most? And to explain this mechanic, the way it works is every pawn has an ID number that's like obscured from the player. And the compatibility is just a random range between like +5 and -5, roughly. I don't exactly know the range, but like plus and -4.5 or something like that. Which dictates the frequency of positive or negative communications. So if you're like at -4 with another pawn, you're basically only going to insult them. To try to have a good relationship at -4, you would need to counter that with like a high mate psychic bonding, or like aesthetic shaper and nose, like something to drive up the numbers to friendship. So the thing is, Liara is a psychopath, so her compatibility numbers don't really mean anything because of that. But I'm sort of curious, if she wasn't a psychopath, who she would like. So far, Tornal is who she'd like the most. Oh, Kilgore. At a 1.5. She's pretty neutral with most. I would say if you swing anything between like 1.5 plus and minus doesn't affect it all that hard. Now the other one I wanted to check out is Breakfire and Frenchie. Has a compatibility of basically 1 because they're engaged. Who else is in a relationship? Just to, you know, scoop these numbers. I don't think... Oh, Aram and Ink are in a relationship. That's right. And they have about a 1 compatibility. Generally speaking, if they're like long-term stable in a relationship, they usually have a positive compatibility. Because even when you're in a relationship, the compatibility numbers... Unless you have... There are some personality traits that will counter this, of course. So it's not the end-all be-all. So for instance, Ink has nice. Nice means that they're not likely to insult one another. So if two people who are nice, or sorry, kind, get in a relationship, chances are they're going to stay in that relationship because they generally won't butt heads. Because people who are nice and agreeable generally don't go on insult sprees and sling insults and everything. So most of Ink's interactions with other people are going to be positive ones, building up a relationship, which is why she has really good rapport with most people. And keeping in mind, of course, like half of our colony is like psychopaths. Whereas if you are counter that, if you're like abrasive, like Liara is, the majority of her interactions are going to be somewhat negative skewed. So it's not just the compatibility numbers that drive it. It's a lot of personality traits. It's also like countering personality traits, like industrious versus lazy, slothful, etc., etc. So there's a lot of factors at play, but I think the strongest determining factor of them all would be the compatibility numbers. Because if they're like -3, let's say, they're just like destined to hate one another. There's almost nothing you can do to have those pawns get along. Short of like psychic bonding, where they have to get along. They're like coded to get along. So we're here clearing out the bug hives that are... Oh, God. We pissed off a hive. Okay, everyone that is not conscripted should be inside. We pissed off a hive that is, coming in. So we're clearing out the hive so that we can mine gold, without being impeded. So I think there was, there's gold here and gold here, and these are the 2 gold sites. I'm going to double check on that. Yeah, those are the only 2 known gold. So I'm just going to make sure that the bugs around that gold get killed off. Don't break my turrets. You little craps. You know, the other thing I don't use as much, but I'm just going to undraft my pawns and tell them to just force attack. So I don't have to, like, micromanage them. They'll just keep murdering bugs. Mostly because I don't think they're going to lose. And it's a nice way to just, like, automate the process of searching and destroying. Done. And there's no compacted plasteel. Okay. Didn't think I'd get lucky with both. Come on. Fine, I'm just gonna rush him. Alright, we need to destroy... Well, Kilgore and Mag, you're idle. We need to destroy that hive. And I think what we'll do is we'll just paint a allowable zone. So that no one goes anywhere stupid. I'll just use Area 1. I'll repaint that. So that spot's safe. Because I don't want anyone wandering too far. Done and done. I think we'll be very close to our gold goal. Between these two nodes. We'll be within like 100 gold or so. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to start the Golden Throne. And then if we want to do trade for sidecasts. The idea that I had was for Skyra to... Well, first, I think she needs to make us any clothing. And then I'll put up the queue for corsets. So once she's done with everything else, she'll do an infinite corset out of any leather that is not Thrumbo. Because corsets are really good bang for your buck for resale value. The other thing we could do is clear out more of the bugs, because insect jelly, of course, is a good trade good too. So maybe I'll put a bit of an effort to clear them out. Who's running? Skyra? Whoa, what the hell? How did that happen? Did you get up? Yeah, you got up. Because there's a few bugs in our kill box that are like down but not dead. And I guess one popped back up after recovering. Don't want that. And our butcher table is butchering insects forever, because we make it out. We turn them into chem fuel forever. That sucks. Psychotron are high. I never gave her a bed back. Either of them. You know what? You forced me to, like, move beds around, so it's your fault, not mine. Alright, here's your bed. This is for Airdog and Skyra, who dated for 3 minutes. What a pain in the butt. Wasn't it Airdog who asked for space? Probably. Airdog asked Skyro from space. Yeah, so it's Airdog's fault. That's why you got to sleep inside. He got to sleep at the mining site. He was punished for the inconsideration. Before I leave this map tile, let's look for ancient dangers. Easiest way I find to do that is, because it's hard to spot them in the mountains, is to do a claim. And if you have a large amount of stuff that gets claimed all at once, you can even just listen for it. No, there's no ancient dangers, at least not at the surface. Wow, moods are pretty bad. Torrential rain floodwaters. Oh, I don't think we're gonna... Well, actually, we're pretty close. 2851 plus 132. Well, yeah, we're pretty close, but not quite there. I might need to leave this map tile because there's a psychic droner that is absolutely wreaking havoc on people's moods. $29.83. Let's go ahead and try to scoop as much of the insect jelly as we can because it's a trade good. I think Mag is going to go on like a murder spree here in a moment. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Pilgrim ship, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream of another series or game. Farewell, fellow pilgrims.